Today we're taking a look at a show a lot of people should definitely watch, though not as much as the Chainsaw Man movie that's coming out. That's gonna be fucking sick. So the show today is called To Be Hero X. The fights are nice, a lot of cool shit, a lot of aura being farmed, and the animation is fantastic. It switches between 2D and 3D. I know, 3D, that's bringing up Satan's name in front of the Lord here when it comes to anime, but the majority of it is in 2D, and the 3D stuff is also really nice. I'm gonna be honest, I do kinda miss them when they were going too much on the 2D stuff. Also, the way they switch between 3D and 2D is really cool, really awesome. The transition is amazing. I have a boner. So the show is kind of like an anthology. How it works is there are 11 main characters, and these guys are all superheroes, superpowers, all those cool shit. And each character gets 2 to 3 episodes for their story, character introduction basically. And they all got their own thing going on, but their story is connected to at least one of the 11 characters in some way. So one character's action could influence the other character's story, shit like that. So even though we're switching POVs on cooldown, the story does tie itself together really well. There are times where I'm just sitting there like, oh fuck, we're changing characters again, now it's this fucking guy. But then by the end of that character's story, I'm like, holy shit, that was that guy's dad, and he's a girl, you know, shit like that. It's really cool. So I'll just be going through the basics about the world of the show, how it works, the important stuff, and what leads up to this insane fight. So in this world, heroes gain powers through trust value, which is something obtained through the public's trust. So anyone could become a hero. If you're popular, people believe in you, they trust you, you'll gain some kind of power. And the power you gain is based on how the public perceives you. Example, there's a character in the show who has the ability to teleport anywhere by creating a portal. But one day she came in contact with this hero, and the people really ship her with this hero and wants her to be with him at all times, do everything together. So now her teleportation only goes to him because the people really want them to be together. So she doesn't have control of her power anymore. There's also a guy who can only stand up straight like a hard peepee because the people see him as this strong person who will always stand proud and tall. So he has to sleep standing up. Terrible shit. Bottom line is, being a hero fucking sucks unless that's your manager, then maybe it's not all so bad. And the more supporters you have, the more trust value you gain, the stronger your powers become. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's the fear value, the opposite of trust value, power gained through fear. Bad stuff, not good. You gain some sort of power as well, but it corrupts you, you can't think straight, you start tweaking, and you go into a roid rage. So that's the whole power thing in this world. And since these heroes heavily rely on the public's opinion, agencies spawn in, they scout talents, manage heroes, build their public image, save them from getting cancelled, basically. So if some accidentally drops a slur, their sex tape gets leaked, or if they're ever really caught with their pants down, these agencies will be there to pull them back up for them and slap the Sora AI watermark on it. And these agencies want their heroes to be able to participate in the Hero Ranking Tournament, which is a big thing. It's an event that happens every 2 years where the top 10 heroes compete to determine their new rankings. And the winner will earn the title X, which grants them a bunch of benefits since X means the strongest, lots of cool shit, lots of aura mainly. So the public trusts you the most and the agency profits the most. And of course, there are a lot of agencies fighting each other, each wanting their hero to gain the title X. So that's the agency's purpose, and then there's the commission, the Hero Affairs Commission. It's an organization that oversees all the agencies, so they are the big leagues. They handle the whole ranking and overall trust value system, so they run the whole thing, and below them are the agencies, then there's the heroes, and at the very bottom there's the public, the people, the civilians. And yeah, that is how the world works in this show, to put it simply. Probably some shit like that. Oh, and this guy's the current X. He is cool as hell. We don't really see him do anything until the final episode. And he is the first person to hold the title X for 3 consecutive terms. So that's like 6 years. So he's goated. He's cool as hell. He aura farms like his family is held at gunpoint. He has a magnetic field in his pockets, constantly pulling his hands into them to make sure no aura is ever lost. The world got this hierarchy bullshit going on, one managing the other, this person funneling that person's nutsack, but this guy, he just throws his hands in his pants and manages the animation style. The switching between 2D and 3D, that's all him doing it with the snap of his fingers. Take a look at this. This guy is unreal, he's bending reality and shit. It really doesn't get any cooler than this. And he's not in any agency either, he just does his own thing. And no one even knows what he does, mainly because it's probably just beyond their human comprehension. Like, Jesus Christ, he is changing the animation style. They really just made him to be the guy, he is that guy. But yeah, let's just hop into the storyline of this character, where we'll get to see a couple of heroes fucking with their fist, and X doing some real mean X things. So we are dropping in on episode 21, the hero wanking tournament is coming up, all the heroes are about to start wanking it. And this guy is the CEO of an agency, his name is Rock. And this guy is also the CEO of an agency, his name is Shan. So these two don't like each other, different agencies. And this guy is Dragon Boy, one of the heroes working with Rock. And this is Nice, another hero, a little background on him. He's an industry plant, he's a massive fucking fraud. He only got to be a hero because the agency set up stage fights for him to win and gain trust value. And these two heroes are ordered to make it into the top 10 before the tournament begins. And Dragon Boy has to take out one of the dudes sitting in the top 10 so he can make it, and his target is specifically this guy, because the others in the top 10 are currently going viral after an incident in the previous episode, and that fight is really cool as well. We saw Queen doing some cool shit, she's the number 2 hero, just right below Faker. So because of that, he can't quietly assassinate any one of them, so he has to go after this guy, Smile. He's been in the top 10 for quite a while, but he doesn't do much nowadays and people don't really talk about him as much, so he is the easiest target. So Dragon Boy, Operation Fuck Up Old Man, plain and simple. Meanwhile, Smile is just chilling, he pulls up to X's house. That guy is X, that is his real identity when he's not trying to have people jizz their pants. And no one knows about this except for Smile, so they're good friends. And Smile brought beers and skewers to two hang out, just having a great time. And Smile drops his lore a little, and it is pretty sad. So he has a wife and daughter. That's not the sad part. Sad part is, he's a hero and he's always busy doing important stuff like ad reads and meet and greets. He's always smiling at others and he never has the time to look at his own daughter or even give her a smile. So his wife decided to buy 2 lockets, one for him and one for his daughter, and in it, she puts a photo of their daughter, and when he saw the photo, he asked her why'd she pick the photo where their daughter looks like she works 4 jobs and pay bills. And that's when she reveals that that's because their daughter has no photos of her ever smiling. Just absolutely tragic, her dad is Smile, but no smile ever happening in family. So now she's grown up, she's moved out, and the two don't connect much. So X just fell asleep on his ass. He says, no one gives a shit buddy, they're all here for me. So Smile puts X to bed, and as he leaves and is walking home, Dragon Boy pulls up on him. And I wonder if he'll ever change his name, cause he's a grown ass man, that ain't no boy, he's 23 years old, it's at least gonna be Dragon Teen by now. And Smile recognizes this guy cause he's rank 12 and Dragon Boy's about to rob his ass. Give me your rank. No. Damn. I got this though. So Rock's nasty ass got to his daughter and took her locket. Smile tries to keep his cool, but his cool did not get kept. He saw Dragon Boy's haircut and his blood started boiling. He was pissed. So he smacks him straight in the face with his helmet. You vile creature, you tell me where my daughter is right now. If anything happens to her, I'll make sure to rip that head off your neck and have you rim job your own ass. Then Smile hits him with a clean body shot, sends him flying, and he catches up to the guy, had him spitting blood with a clean left. Flies back in, lands another clean body shot, got that man spinning right round, and is not gonna give him a break, so he zooms in behind him, snapped his spine. Now Smile's power is kinda like Superman, he flies, he's strong, he hits hard, he's fast, you know, the classic superhero bundle. So he starts going absolutely insane on Dragon Boy, combo counter, going crazy, and just take a look at this frame right here. He is not trying to negotiate tonight, he's trying to claim his soul. And some fucking how Dragon Boy is still alive on his 2 feet after that insane beatdown, a little crazy if you ask me, considering his cheeks were getting clapped hardcore style. I mean, that's at least gonna be a million combo counter right there. But that shook him, cause Smile instantly goes in again with a right hook, and this time Dragon Boy is not eating it. He intercepts the right with his right hand, rotates out the side, but Smile goes in with a left. Dragon Boy blocks it, lost a handful of aura with that expression. Then Smile goes in for the decapitation with a right. Luckily he dodged it, but Smile will not let him catch his breath. Right hand gets blocked and he goes for the left, scraped his arm, and Dragon Boy thinks it's a good idea to loosen up his defense in exchange for a bit of yapping. And Smile completely took advantage of this and hits him with a heavy attack, and even though he did block it with both hands, he still got sent flying. Now Smile is really making us feel bad for the purple goon boy over here, he's completely getting fucked. But Smile said, "You haven't seen anything." He speeds in and hits him with a right hook to the jaw, amazing swing, great power generated from the lower body right here. Dragon Boy realizes he's getting humiliated live and they're making an anime out of this, decides to lock in and throws out some of his punches, but Smile completely gaps him in the experience category, so he dodges it with ease. And he goes in with a right hook, straight left, straight right gets blocked again, but he instantly throws out a left, clean connection. Then he goes in with a jumping right kick, nope, baited, got that man looking crazy, he pulls it back and swings in his left knee from the Ice Age. Dragon Boy gets stunned, he starts getting dizzy, knees getting weak, arms feeling like spaghetti. Wait, time out, there's something in my hand, you mind taking a look? Then he dodges Dragon Boy's right hand. And another clean body shot from Smile, and another right hand to the face. Nope, get back here, buddy. Smile is fucking gaming, man. He's not just swinging his hands around like he's clinically insane, relying solely on his strength. He got his guard up and everything, he's beating the fucking dragon out of that boy. And unfortunately for Dragon Boy, there's no ref here to stop this fight, so Smile instantly goes in and kicks him in the face as he's trying to get up. And Dragon Boy realizes he's just a boy in the face of Smile. The dragon is nowhere to be found. And Boy is still alive, somehow he has not turned into mincemeat. His durability is pretty insane, I have to give him that. And he gets up and his fist starts glowing. And that's when we learn that Dragon Boy's ability is he eats damage and he vomits damage. So Smile has got to pull out a hollow purple or some mythical shit out between his butt cheeks for him to win this fight, otherwise he's just doomed. So Boy charges up his right hand and everything goes into slow motion. Smile, fades, his body, stunned. He can't believe this fight is really slipping out of his hands just because the story said so, even though he is clearly the better fighter and he was straight up violating this man for the past 5 minutes. And so he ended up just standing there, lost in his thoughts, looking at this meteor disguised as a fist fly straight into his soul. And Goon Boy didn't just put his back into that punch, no, he put his damn entire body into that bitch. And he slammed him to the ground, and he goes for the final blow, but Smile grabs his hand at the very last moment, counters with a massive left. However, Dragon Boy grabs it, barely. And then, the two notice that there's someone else watching them. And that someone else is Nice, and he has a tube of fear in his hand. So Nice's plan all along is to have the two beat each other, then he comes in at the very last moment, inject fear into the last one standing, beat up that guy, post the footage all over social media. Hero Nice, perfect save, yet again, zooms in to save the day from a berserk hero overdosing on fear. Woohoo! The people start applauding, fireworks start shooting up, everyone starts celebrating, it becomes a national holiday. Nice, you're so cool, I'm soaking wet, please have my babies. Bam. His ranking shoots up and he makes it into the top 10 before the tournament begins. A very solid plan, that is if Nice followed the plan, because he already fucked up step 1. He is now here in between these two, so something definitely went wrong here. So now Nice is just a spectator, he's just a floating camera, and since Smile has no idea what the fuck's going on, he's like, "Nice, perfect timing, get over here and help me beat this guy, he just started attacking me and threatening my daughter out of nowhere." So Dragon Boy goes, "No man, there seems to be a massive misunderstanding, everyone's here to beat your ass, he's here to use you and make it into the top 10. So now Nice starts contemplating what he should do because Smile is telling him to help him and Dragon Boy is telling him to kill Smile, and in exchange he'll give him the chance to enter the top 10. The devil and the angel on his shoulders working overtime. And then it's revealed that Nice really looks up to Smile, who's been his inspiration ever since he was a kid. He's pretty much the reason he even wanted to become a hero in the first place. You could even see him right there. So what the fuck is there to think about? Just stick the tube into Dragon Boy, tag team with your favorite hero, beat the fuck out of this guy. It's a dream come true, it's a 2-in-1 deal, it's the greatest deal of all time. But he ends up doing nothing. So Smile's like, shit, I guess it's all up to me, cause Nice just popped up and he's just standing there like he's been traumatized by some shit, like he just saw a grandma get run over by a train. So the two start trading blows back and forth, and Nice finally snaps out of it, and he flies in to inject fear into either one of them. And who could be the lucky winner, the chosen one? And of course, Dragon Boy is the lucky winner. After all, Smile is his inspiration. And shit did some serious work to Dragon Boy because he's still fighting Smile over here and man had to ask for a timeout and he just limps away. He's like, oh shit, no, fuck, timeout. So then Dragon Boy gets on all fours after Nice successfully squirts his fluids into his body and he is in immense pain. His HP is ticking down fast. But then Dragon Boy tells him that his power is that any damage done to him can be returned twice as hard, and that also includes fear. So he reveals that he's a spitter and he spat out all the fear, so this does not work on him. I don't know how or why it's happening, but it's not working. But anyway, Nice luckily only got a few splashes on his shirt and shoe. Smile on the other hand, he ate all that shit like a champ. He stood there, he tanked it, he fully absorbed it. He has no idea what that is either, so Nice goes, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Huh, am I okay? I've been around for many years, little boy. I befriended a T-Rex once. I've seen it all. A little splash of dirty water ain't gonna do a single thing. Oh, fuck! So now Smile is the one who gets taken over by fear because Dragon Boy said double it and give it to the next person. So there goes Smile, absolutely tragic. He seems like a great guy compared to all these other fucked up heroes. So he gets controlled by fear and he starts having a schizophrenic episode, thinking someone's laughing at him, and he goes in on Nice. And although Nice's come up is nothing but fraudulent, he does have actual powers and he does know how to fight. So he ducks the right hand and Smile goes for a back kick, block that, and he starts going crazy, dashing around and shit. However, Nice dodges it, but Smile's not done. He comes back in, right kick gets dodged, right uppercut gets slapped away, back fist. Nice looks like he's about to shit his pants and cry for his mama, but he realizes all of this is going into the anime, so he locks in. Then Smile starts dropping combos on him and he said, "Fuck it, let me start shooting energy balls as well." And Nice sees balls, Nice jumps, Nice flips, Nice dodges balls. Nice avoids taking damage, but then Smile catches him with his cock in his hand. Luckily, Nice is still able to block it, but he gets sent flying to the side. Now Dragon Boy thinks it's all fun and games. He starts clapping, he thinks his work here is done, so he can just go ahead and skip his way back home. But Smile says, "Hell no, I'm not done." And he flies in on him and lands a clean left to the face, sending him flying into the water, and he instantly stomps down on him. So now the two continue their fight underwater. Goon Boy comes in, throws out a punch, gets his fist grabbed, already terrible start, gets tossed aside, so he spins and goes for a fat kick, did negative damage, realizes he's fucked, and Smile sticks an explosive ball into his body, sending him flying out the water, and he chases after him immediately. And I really like how fast this fight is. Smiles is dropping combos after combos. He's not giving him the opportunity to fuck around. He is just beating his ass. He slaps away the hand, clean shot to the ribs. Dragon Boy is still smiling, so Smile had to knock that smile out of his face. Then he kicks him down, follows him at intense speed, turns himself into a Beyblade, and slams him to the ground. And Dragon Boy is still conscious. How is he just tanking all of this? I don't know. But all the commotion and explosion has brought a bunch of attention. A crowd begins to form, so they're like, "Damn, that's Dragon Boy getting completely cooked by a monster." So now anyone who beats Smile would get a boost in the rankings, cause he's a monster now and the crowd is here, they're all filming this. And then Nice gets up and he turns into a spectator, so the people are like, "What the fuck is he doing? He's just standing there watching Dragon Boy get his organs crushed." And now Nice has found himself to be stuck between a rock and a hard place because he needs one of these two to go and then he'll fight the winner so he can make it into the top 10, so obviously he has to wait. However, the crowd is pressuring him to make a move, otherwise a video of this incident would go up and they'll just see Nice standing there being a cock as he watches Dragon Boy get fucked. Not exactly the greatest video you would like to have of yourself on the internet. Meanwhile, Dragon Boy continues to get clapped and Smile starts choking him. But then, right when he's about to pass out, he changes color like a chameleon and the crowd starts cheering for him. And he's able to break free from Smile's insane grip. Then he charges up his right hand, shit starts glowing, he punches him, Smile's unable to dodge it, and he just gets completely eviscerated. Yeah, he kinda just exploded and transformed into this goo like a melting ice cream. R.I.P. Smile, his bits and pieces falling from the sky. A moment of silence for this man. Alright, let's continue. So Nice just witnessed his childhood hero turn into a bloody mess, so Nice is not very happy, he's very angry, and Dragon Boy walks up to him about to punch him, so Nice said, "Hell no, I'm not trying to end up like my hero." And now let's listen to what the people have to say about this.
ナイスはどうしたんだ。
さっきは助けもしないで、今度は自分から攻撃してる。
どういう
Are you kidding me? Do we not see Dragon Boy walking up to him with murderous intent, looking all purpley and grumpy like he's about to rip his balls off? What is I supposed to do there? Stand there, have his balls get ripped off, and only then he can start fighting back? No, I'd like to keep my balls. And these guys are all live streaming it, so Nice's plan has gone to piss, dipped in shitty water, the whole operation has gone to ass. So now round 2 begins, it's Nice versus a violent purple Dragon Boy. So Dragon Boy tries to break the ground, but Nice flies, so he's chilling, and he hits him with a double kick. Then he starts moving back, dodges to left, and Dragon Boy tries to catch him with his pants down with a spin kick, but Nice got his belt on nice and tight. Then Dragon Boy drops a 4-hit combo consisting of a jumping back kick into a right hand and a left and another jumping back kick. So Nice goes, damn, this guy's low-key styling on me, let me back up for a bit. Ugh, Aura, this one's for you, ladies. And he flies in, head first. I really don't know what the fuck he just did back there, aside from making himself shinier and brighter. So then, he slides down at the very final moment to avoid having his face imprinted with a fist. Thank God, otherwise it would have been unbelievably embarrassing for him to do all that just to have fists for dinner. Then he flies back in, the two continue going at each other, Nice being more on the defensive end, blocking and dodging. Then he blocks his right and counters with an elbow to the body, but Purple Goon Boy's a freak, he eats all that shit like a light snack. Then he moves in even faster, Wild Left gets blocked, tries to go for the classic dick twist technique, but Nice slaps that away with his right, counters with a left, but gets blocked. Dragon Boy goes for a left as well, but it's not going through. Nice pulls back to dodge the right, goes in, knocks his arm up as he charges for a body shot, but it's no good. Dragon Boy then moves back almost perfectly just for Nice's right hand to not reach him. The two are on equal footing, no one's breaking through anyone's defense, so this is just an automatic GG for Nice, because this is not even the tough part about fighting the purple monster. Then, Dragon Boy manages to squeeze in a jumping kick through Nice's defense, and one kick got this man coughing blood. It's rough. Then the two run back in on each other, and of course, the fist-to-fist action comes in, very essential scene. And Nice continues to cough out blood during this process, and Dragon Boy continues to smile, so Nice is going to need some legendary ass pull for him to win this fight. And honestly, Dragon Boy's durability has to be studied. How is he just one-shotting people while also being tanky as shit? That has to be illegal somewhere. And now Nice realizes blocking punches won't inflict damage onto his opponent, so he puts on his big boy pants and starts dropping combos on him, but none of them are really connecting. Then Dragon Boy tries to slice him in half with his bare hands, but he dodges that, blocks the body shot, remembers his fast, repositions himself, throws out an oddly high left hand, dick shot gets slapped off, gets behind him at super speed, charges up his right hand, delivers a crazy back shot. However, Dragon Boy loves all the shots that's being given to his back, so he just mouths that shit off, so now's a good time for Nice to start considering shitting his pants. Then he dodges the left, goes in and lands a clean body shot, even screams to add extra glowing effects. But obviously Dragon Boy eats all that shit like a piece of candy and he grabs his arm and just slams the guy. Then, as Nice looks back up, he felt fear like never before. His heartbeat echoes through his body, his vision gets blurry and his breathing grows heavy, as Dragon Boy has popped his ult yet again, about to turn him to dust. That snapping sound right there is the coolest shit ever. It is so fucking hype because this guy has very little screen time. We're 22 episodes in and this guy appeared like twice, and those 2 times he was just like walking around in the background or doing some random shit. And bam, we are back to 3D. Nice, and the people around are as surprised as we are to finally see this guy because they probably see him as much as we do, which is never. And he teleported Nice to a different place. And you just know, he's about to start aura farming to the absolute max when he's saying shit like this. So X is about to give us a masterclass. So he walks off the edge, hands in pockets, snaps, changes the animation style, starts yawning, people were fighting for their lives a few seconds earlier, snaps again, back to 3D, now he's sliding down the bridge's cable, hand still in pocket, falls off the cable, snaps again, and now he's in front of Dragon Boy and everything's back to 2D, and hands are back in the pockets, very important part of his character. And after seeing him, Dragon Boy goes, oh, looks like I won't just make it into the top 10 tonight, I'll even become X, I'll kill you right now. So he has no idea who he's dealing with, he runs in and he tries to punch him, but X snaps, changes everything back to 3D, and Dragon Boy has turned into a piece of paper. So he fucking crumbles him and tosses him into the water. I have never seen such disrespectful act in my entire life. He just pulled down that man's pants and spanked him like a little slut. It is diabolical. And he snaps again, and everything's back to normal. Dragon Boy's back to normal, he's no longer weird looking. That's all he has to do. This X guy is pretty cool, and he's also a little strong, I think. I mean, Goon Boy just got Dimension Dift, what is there even to do against that? Uncounterable. Didn't even need to touch him, punch him, just abracadabra his ass into a flat piece of paper and yank out his frame. Sooner or later, X is gonna be able to snap and pop out of our screens. And the crowd didn't even see what happened to Dragon Boy, they all kinda just blacked out at the same time. Next thing they know, Dragon Boy's in the water. So Dragon Boy has cooled down and X walks over to Smile to see how he's doing, and I can't exactly speak for Smile here, but this is the only way he'll be speaking, and judging from what I'm observing, he is not looking too good. He is not looking very fresh, he is dead. He went out with a smile, didn't even get the chance to talk to his daughter one last time. Fuck you Rock and fuck you Purple Goon Boy. And speaking of Rock, we see him sitting in his cock chair watching this entire thing unfold, and he's very happy, kicking his feet in the air because he's getting more information on X. He sees X picking up Smile's locket, so X is related to Smile somehow, so then he'll track down Smile's past movements and then figure out X's real identity and learn more about his powers. And that setup brings us to episode 24, titled X. It's the final episode. This is the episode dedicated to his story. He only gets one, and this is his one. There's so much shit going on, and it's awesome. And here's a little cool information from X's character preview. Every single character in the show gets a preview before the show came out. And for X, we see a bunch of people talking about an interview Smile did where he was sharing his experience fighting X in the hero wanking tournament, and this is before they became friends. And basically he explained that he already snapped, and next thing he knew, he was in front of the moon. So he can teleport people to fucking space. Alright, so X during the day, he's a normal guy. He works a 9 to 5 or 9 to 7 in his case. But he hides his identity, so at work he's this random guy. He looks like Faker, he gets to work, he gets out of work. Very normal guy. Also, the big ranking tournament is coming up tomorrow. And the people at his workplace don't even know he exists, and he just lives his life like a normal person. He does normal stuff, eats normal food, gets crushed on a crowded train, lives in a normal apartment, drinks the pain of being employed away. Very normal stuff. Now, the commission and agencies do not like X because they can't control him, have zero information on him, and they're afraid one day he might go crazy, take over the world if they can't control his trust value. And there's been a case like this in the past where the number one hero went crazy, took over the world, and eventually the heroes had to unite, the Avengers assembled and killed him. Shout out Esol, the real one, not the disgusting cosplaying fraud. That guy is... The term fraud is insignificant to what he truly is. He should swallow a dynamite. Anyway, so that whole incident resulted in the establishment of the commission, so no heroes could ever get too powerful. But long story short, the big people want X gone. So while he's chillin', these people pull up on him like it's a horror movie. The commission sent them here to take him down and stop him from entering the hero wanking tournament that's happening tomorrow. And this right here, this fight scene that's about to unfold is the coolest shit I have ever seen. The music in this scene and just the music in the entire show in general is a banger. Especially the opening, really like that, ending as well. But anyway, let me just put a stop to my ejaculation. So they all break in, so he uses his powers, starts hitting them around for a bit, and he snaps again, and now they're all pixels in his walls, snaps them out, and now he's in his walls. This guy's the admin and everyone else is just the NPCs he coded. I mean, just look at him right here. He got the whole world after his ass and hands are still in the pockets while slow walking. Dodges the guy's kick, jumps up, kicks two dudes while dodging the one below him, stomps him down, and just take a look at this shit. Feast your eyes upon this. What is going on and how does one fight something like this? What are his powers? No one knows. He is insane. Then he snaps and he's back to the regular world, so all those guys just got trapped in another dimension probably. And we see all the CEOs of the big four agencies together with the commission. They're having a whole very serious meeting just for one guy. They don't like the fact he's above the system, so they'll send everything to eliminate him. So they contact all the heroes from their agencies who are not in the top 10 because those people have a tournament coming up tomorrow, so they need their 8 hours and a nice bowl of morning cereal. But aside from those people, it's now X against the world. However, he is not even breaking a sweat. I mean, they are sending in a human cannonball and two of Mr. Monopoly's long-lost relative, so he handles them with absolute ease. Then this guy comes in and he can go into walls just like X, but he can't be bothered. He doesn't give a flying fuck about any of that. So he comes out about to get jumped by everyone, but he snaps. Ink Guy just killed his entire team, and X is just floating around in this entire fight. Untouchable, unreachable, despite him being there right in front of their eyes. Then he changes that man's attack into his favorite drink, the only thing that's able to separate his hands from his pockets, dodges back, throws it at Inkman, snaps it back to its previous object, slices that guy's projectile in half, and hits the other two that's running up behind him. But that's not all, they got more people pulling up on him, and snap, now they're all falling off a building. Then more people come his way, so he's like, alright, let me just borrow this car for a bit. Yes, he just yanked that shit out of the billboard, and he just drives through everything. He starts driving away, but they got more heroes coming after him. They're all chasing him down. We got Tron, Blue Surfer, and another girl who blasts stuff out of her hands. Then they block off his driveway. Everyone runs up on him. They're all using everything they got. This girl's blasting a fucking laser beam at him. But X just pulls out a coin, flicks it, turns it into some sort of shield, eats up all that shit, and he snaps and he's gone. And now he's chillin', sipping on his drink, but then a bunch of dudes catch up to him, so he fights them. Very cool stuff. You definitely want to watch this final episode yourself. Crazy shit. X is just aura farming to the absolute max. He's literally adjusting his hair while he's getting jumped. And he's not just strong, he's also smart. He knows a bunch of shit about the world, and he starts explaining about the bunch of shit. And the more shit being explained, the more shit comes out of his mouth, the more confused I become about the shit. Yeah, so X ends up teleporting to the day of the tournament. He made it, so he's going to compete like normal. He's there with all the other 10 heroes. And he's talking about how everyone's a chess piece manipulated by fate. And he is going to defy fate. So he appears in front of everyone in his true identity. And the show ends. Just like that. Season 1 wraps up right there. So, like my ass cheeks on a toilet seat, shit is going down. Got me real excited for season 2, it'll be crazy. That's most likely going to come out in 2030 if we're lucky. I'll be very excited to watch it with my kids. So yeah, definitely check out the show, it's really good, great story, there's a bunch of other characters, lots of fights, there's an episode where they just fought for 11 minutes straight. Yeah, that did happen, insane animation throughout this entire show. And honestly, it's great to be able to binge this show, because watching this shit weekly was... oh my good god, it was a different form of torture. It really gave me the urge to commit some real acts of violence.